So that's what I need to do now. I need to very quickly take a look through and see what am I spending money on. Now, to get these kind of sales, I want to have an office in a fairly trendy part of town near a few businesses and bits and pieces. So I'm going to be spending £650 on my office. And actually I'm going to spend that every month all the way through the year. So let's do that. Now, I'm pretty lucky around London for graphic designers. There's lots of flexible rent, so I don't think I'm going to have to put a deposit down in January. I think they're just going to ask me for a month's rent, and then every month I've got to pay rent. Now, telephone including internet, I'm going to be doing a lot of internet. I'm going to be out and about. I'm going to have an expensive mobile phone bill. So I think including all the internet and downloading and things, I'm going to be spending about £80 a month. That's quite high, but it's my business, and I want to make sure I've got the money there. So I'm gonna guess that high, and we're gonna put that in along every month. So you can see I filled that in, and every month, January, February, March, it's going to be £80 because I'm going to get a flat contract, everything included, so I know it's all covered. Okay, so if I come along, equipment. Now, obviously, I'm going to need some equipment, but that doesn't really fit what I'm doing, so I'm just going to say software. And when you do your own cash flows, take a look at it. If the things in the list don't make sense to you, just go in and delete them. It's your cash flow, so make sure it fits you. Now, I'm going to need quite a lot of software. I think I'm going to need about £2,500 worth of software because the stuff the professionals use, it's expensive. Now I've got a computer, it's okay, but I really want one of these shiny Mac Airs. I'm sure you've seen them. They're stylish products. There are other computers available, of course, but that's what I want, and I need a budget of about £2,000 for that. Yeah, I'm going to need some business cards. I'm going to need some business cards straight away. I'm going to need about £50 worth of business cards, and then actually I think I won't need them again in February. But March? No, I won't need them. April, they'll have run out by then. I'll need some more in April. And then, in June, I'm really busy in June and July. I'm going to have lots of business cards going out. August is slow, so I won't need any then. But then, September, I'm going to need a few. And, maybe I'll get a few more in December. So I just go along and, like I say, I want quite nice business cards. So just putting a little bit of money aside for that. Stationery, well, I got to do quite a lot of printing in a graphic design business. So every month I'm going to do about £25. Actually, I'll tell you what. In April it starts to get busier, so I'm going to take that up to £35. And then remember, in June and July I was really busy, so I'm going to need quite a lot of stationery. I'm going to say £45. August I'm on holiday, so just 20 quid will do that. September, what did I say? Oh yeah, it was picking up again. So let's say £35 through the end of the year, and I'll spend a little in December and £35. Like I say, we're just taking a guess. Obviously, we don't know whether it's £35 or £36 or quite what it is I'm going to be spending in December. It's just my best guess as I can make it today. Materials, small, materials, large. That doesn't really apply to a graphic design business. I don't know why that's in there. I'm going to get that out of there. Advertising. I am going to need to do some advertising. I am going to need a website, insurance, accountant, a little bit on health and safety. There's not too much on health and safety for me. I can just look that stuff up on the internet. I'm going to write my own health and safety, so that's not too much. Okay, so let's blitz through these. Let's have a look. Advertising. I wanna kick it off with a bit of a bang, so I'm going to put £250 there, and then just before it gets really busy, I want to have a big advertising push. I want to put £500 on advertising then. But maybe in September I'm going to spend another £300. Let's see how we're doing. Websites. I do need a good website. I'm a graphic designer, but I'm not a web designer, so I'm really going to have to get somebody in to do that. And I want a really nice portfolio website. I'm gonna spend £800. Insurance. There's not a lot of risk, but as you know, every business needs public liability insurance. So I'm going to get maybe £150 worth of insurance. Obviously, you're going to have to go out and do your research and check all these figures for your own businesses, but let's have a look at the accountant. Yep, I've got a lot of money coming in. I've got some money going out there as well. So I'm going to spend £500 on an accountant at the end of the year. I don't need to spend it before that. I can do my bookkeeping. I know how to do that. I've had a look at the Enterprise Cubes, cogs and guides, and I think I can do my bookkeeping, but an accountant's going to be useful at the end of the year. Okay, so we're almost through training. What training? I can get started without training. I've done a bit in this, but I do want to gen up. So I'm going to put £500 for some 2-day training every couple of months in my first year. And then wages. Okay, well, wages, I don't have any staff, so this is just wages for me. So I'm gonna want to have a look at my wages. Now, before I can decide how much money I'm going to get, I need to see how much money's in the pot. So if I zoom back out, we can start to have a look at how we're doing, because I've taken a stab at it, I've got some of my expenses in there, and I can start to see what's going on. Okay, so if I zoom all the way out, then I'll just remind you, at the top we've got all the money coming in, and actually for this business it's about £45,000 coming in, and then we've got all the money going out. Okay, so for this business, it's, if I come down to the very bottom here, it says about £17,900 is going out. So if I look at my cash flow over the year, there's £27,000 coming in. So pretty much that money's for me. So I can start to take that money out in wages for me, and I can spread that over the year. But I'm also going to have a look at when the business has actually got money in the bank. Now I'm starting off, I do have about £400 in the bank, so I'm going to put that in. So down here, let's have a look at these figures. Let's remind ourselves what these figures are. We've got total expenses, net cash flow, and then we've got the bank balance brought forward is what we had in our bank at the start of the month. So I'm starting this business with £400, so that's what's in my bank at the start of the month. And then I've got bank balance carried forward, that's the bank balance at the end of the month, and that's at the moment, oh dear, it's saying minus £4,335. So although this business is making money in its first month, it's losing loads of money. It's running out of this bank account. So I'm really going to have a look at this, because there's no money for me if there's minus 4,000 in here. So let me go back and have a look at this. I've got £6,500 worth of expenses, and I've got £1,700 coming in. Okay, that's a bit of a problem, but I think if I apply, I can probably get a grant, and I can probably get a grant of about £1,000. So that's gonna give me a bit of a boost as I get started. But I think I might be able to get a loan. I think if I go to the bank, they might give me a £500 loan, but I'm going to have to start paying that back. So I'm going to come back down to my expenses, and I'm going to start paying that back. And I think bank loan repayments, I think I'm going to pay, they're going to end up asking me to pay that off at something like £50 a month every month. So let me put all of these £50 repayments in, and then let me see how I'm doing. Okay, I've still got, look at this, bank balance at the end of the month is minus £2,835. Okay, that's a problem. The bank's already lent me £500. They're not gonna let me go that overdrawn. So I'm gonna have to move some figures around. Okay. Let's go up, have a look at some of these big items. Okay, and see what I can do. Well, I do have a computer. It's not the best, but I think this MacBook Air, I'm not going to be able to afford it in my first month, but I might be able to afford it later. Let me just move it all the way along to May. Let me delete it from January, move it down later in the year. Maybe I'm going to have money in the bank later in the year. Maybe that's going to be okay. And this software, I think I can spread this as well. So I think I can get started with the software I really need, and then I think I can buy the rest of the software in March. Okay, so what I've done is I've just tried to delay some payments, and bingo, there we go. So I've got £400 in the start of the month. Now, because I've delayed some payments, I've got some grant money coming in, I can get this started. And actually, I've got £500. Oh, sorry for that. I've got £500 coming into my business. So I start with £400 in the bank, get £500, and I've got end of the month I got £900 left in the bank. So that means I can pay myself something. I'm going to leave some money in there, but I reckon I can pay myself £500. The next month, even though I'm buying software and other things now, I've got £2,000 in the month. So I'm gonna I'm going to pay myself 1,500. I'm going to leave 750 in the bank and pay myself 1,500. The next month, what if I pay myself 1,500? Maybe that's a bit much. I've only got £300 left in the bank. Call me conservative, but I like to have a bit of buffer there, see what's going on. Okay, let's pay myself 1,200. And then, actually, let me just pay myself £1,200 every month and take this across the year. Okay, I can come down to my bank balance and I can see, actually, that's pretty healthy, and I've got plenty of money left in the bank. That's all my money too, but I'm going to leave that in the bank, building up and building up, so that I can actually go out and really sort of invest in this business, perhaps take on some staff in the next year. So that's it. There we go. That's a cash flow. It's a whistle-stop tour. Do play this video back a couple of times, but just have a go. Put in your products, put in your prices, take a guess. Have a look at your expenses. List everything you want, figure out when you're going to buy it, and let the spreadsheet do the work. If you've got any problems, just get in touch with the Enterprise Cube and we'll help you figure it out. Hope it's been useful. We'll speak to you soon. Thanks very much.